Entrepreneurs will say that they want to make more sales in 2026. They want to reach new revenue heights. They want to cross the 500K threshold, the $1 million threshold that they have not been able to cross, but they're unwilling to do things differently. They want to still keep the 2022, 2023 content marketing strategy they had back then of sending one email per week, one video per week, and that was it. Well, I am here to help you out a little bit and burst your bubble also just a little bit to let you know that those things are not going to work in 2026 and beyond, and you can already see it from your data. I need you to start thinking like the CEO next door. Start thinking like a corporation. I understand you're not a corporation. I know you don't have venture capital funding, but there's something that happens when you change your mindset. And I've done the same thing in my business. I stopped playing small and saying, oh, I don't have enough people to email every day. I don't have enough this. I don't have enough that. Those are all just... it's laziness speaking. They're excuses that are not going to move the needle in your business, because whether you have venture capital funding, whether you feel like you have the support that you want and need, you have the ability to go and get that support. I mean, you're watching this video right now, which means you're open to learning a better way to acquire sales. Let me tell you something. One of my finance clients, I'm going to tell you the breakdown of her team because I really need entrepreneurs to understand this. If you're under 5 years in business, it makes sense. But those local companies that are 10, 15, 20 years in business understand this, and it's not really a big sell to them. It's not something I have to break down. And so here's what it is. One of my finance clients, she has a team of CPAs. She has about 3 to 4 CPAs that function and do like the tax relief stuff for her firm. Then she has a sales team of 7 people. Then she has a marketing director, and she also operates within a sales and marketing role as the CEO, managing both sales and marketing. 50% to 60, actually about 80% of her team is either sales or marketing, and then the rest are people that can replicate what she does. There's a reason for that, because without all of your energy, or at least 80% of it going to sales and marketing, then you're not really creating a business. Now, there's 2 phases in my entrepreneur journey when I had to learn this the hard way. Number 1 was back in 2019, okay? I booked my first 5-figure client. I was so happy. It was through a pitch, because your girl has always been one to pitch and speak directly to the people in a precise way. This is how I would win contracts internationally. This was somebody down in the Bahamas. They owned a storefront with natural hair wigs, okay? So it was a high ticket offer. Fantastic. We did social media marketing and email marketing together for her firm for 2 years straight. But here's something that I didn't realize, because I was only about 3 to 4 years in business. I did not understand the levels that come with marketing. So I got this client and I kind of stopped marketing. I was like, great. So just clients will just come to me now, or, opportunities will present themselves. But that was the biggest mistake I could have ever made in my business, which is then why I merged into email marketing so that I could discuss owned media. I already had my website, my blog, which has been up for 10 years. But then I also stepped into email marketing more so that I could own the media, because it's so dangerous to assume that your business can just survive on YouTube, survive on Facebook, survive on Instagram, when in fact, these platforms are not guaranteed to be here tomorrow. The algorithm is not guaranteed to work in your favor. But it does work in your favor? Having a healthy email list, having a blog, having resources, and a set bank, a vault that your clients can go to learn more about you. Not only that, but you can reuse and repurpose some of your old content, especially if you have a strong, singular, signature business model that you can replicate throughout the years. Change it up a little bit for the 2026 time, where it's like people are frustrated and a little bit afraid of this world war. They're seeing the oil prices. So everything in this economy, the macroeconomics, points to the fact that people are only going to purchase what is completely necessary, which gets into our next point. Your business has to be completely necessary. It can't be a nice to have. It can't be cutesy. It can't be, well, these branded graphics are so cute, unless you are a must have in 2026. Then your business will not get the sales that you want to see. Now, there's a variety of ways to position yourself as a must-have, but you have to position yourself towards a specific ICP, ideal client persona. Not only that, but you want to be testing different content. This is another huge mistake I made early on, having just one website page, having just one singular marketing and sales strategy. This will leave you in the dust faster than anything else. I learned this working with corporations. They will A/B test different sales pages, which they call controls. They will have copywriters. This is why corporations will have teams of like 30 copywriters, 50 copywriters, 50 content strategists. And you're like, what are all these people doing? And they're throwing out pieces of content so they can test different ICPs, different buyer personas, because everything has to be determined by the data, not what you as a CEO assume, not what you as an entrepreneur assume, not what you as a mom, dad, whoever you are, a friend assume is happening with your clients, but actually data-focused messaging that shows you, hey, people are liking this specific part of our message more than the older message, so we need to let the older message go, focus in on this area, and apply other tests to the calls to action so we can optimize our sales. This is the type of marketing that's going to lift the needle in your business in 2026. Anything else is just vanity metrics and noise. This is why it's so important for entrepreneurs to get in rooms with people who have either worked with marketing corporations, who have consulted on corporations, or have seen a higher level of revenue in their clientele so that they can come back and understand, okay, there's something that I'm missing here. And it's not just venture capital, it's also knowledge. There's some kind of knowledge that I'm not understanding. There's some kind of way that people are able to communicate daily with their audience and their audience not unsubscribe. We just looked at the data last night and it was fantastic. 88 clicks. One email had 88 clicks, the next had 86 clicks. And I'm like, wow, this new messaging direction is really, really working, because I added in AI consulting, I added in data analytics, and I broke it down with my audience and they loved it. And I've been writing two types of emails that I told you about: long form, 500 to 700 words, which are basically like a blog, and then short form sales emails, 200 words and less. When I sent both those types of emails, they both got over 85 clicks. So that tells me my message is working and that the people, the new leads that are on my list, are high intent buyers. You can produce this for your own list in a Magnetic Emails VIP day, where I break down the AI systems that I'm using to acquire those leads, because it's like pitching on steroids. Like, the way that AI and these analytic dashboards work and these agentic workflows, it's literally like, I remember the days I'd have to just like sit down, research a company, research everything they're doing on LinkedIn. But with email automation and some of these companies like Limlist, you can really go through and acquire these leads and have high intent leads where they're not unsubscribing, they're not bouncing. They want to be there because you're speaking to a more sophisticated part of the market. And you can target, just like ads, any demographic: doctors, therapists, contractors, AI consultants, education technology firms, local school district, any type of market or industry that you can think of, you can find those people on there, which is again why my clients are coming to me in these VIP days saying they either want help with pitching, or they want sales page assistance, or they want the 20 email sequence, and then they continue on retainer, because after you get that solution solved, you're like, oh, there's another marketing area that we can dive into, so that we always have fresh qualified leads coming through, because Instagram is not producing the quality of leads that people used to want to see. YouTube, to a certain extent, still does, but you can work and talk to sophisticated buyers just on your email list, like it's a regular day, like you're just having coffee on an island like I am. I'm literally on an island in Mauritius, Africa, speaking to prospects and clientele across the world, mainly in North America. Some have been in Israel as well. as well as Australia. So if you're listening to this and you're feeling like you're at a deficit right now, I know it's an uncomfortable feeling. I know it can be a little bit stressful, but I want to reassure you, it's a good thing to have knowledge and awareness of that deficit, because now that you're aware of the core issue in your marketing strategy, in your business, then you can do what is necessary. Schedule a magnetic emails audit call. Check out my website, www.TiffyGWrites.ai, or go to another marketing consultant, whatever you want to do. The core goal is that your marketing strategy stops behaving like a beginner one and it begins to acquire those sophisticated leads in all seasons so that your well and your business never runs dry. I'll see you in the next video. Check out the links down below.